How much can you earn in a career in consulting, finance and management? Hi, my name is Johannes, and in this video I want to talk about this very important question because so many people ask me on a regular basis, how much can I actually make in a job in consulting, finance and management? And the thing is that there are so many people who want to work in these areas. And it's almost like a myth. Some people can say, hey, you earn multiple six figures. Some people say, hey, you're making millions. Some people say, hey, it's not that great at all. So let's take a look on how much you really can earn if you work in consulting, finance and management. And also let's talk about how long it takes to get to a certain level. So what I want to do in this video is to talk about the 5 main career levels or stages that you have in a career in consulting, finance and management. And I also want to talk a little bit about what your typical role is in this position, what it takes to get there and how much you actually earn. So with that being said, let's start with the 5 career levels that you have in consulting, finance and management. And level number 1, this is the candidate level. And this is when you're still studying. Sometimes you're working as an intern or as a working student. This is the lowest level and typically this requires no practical experience at all. So this means, of course, in some positions, if you want to do an internship at the top consulting firms, top investment firms, and top management or strategy positions in a corporate, then of course you need some practical experience in terms of like good academic background and also like some internships before, but you don't need some full-time experience. And your responsibility is mainly in these roles, first of all, to take care of your degree and to really, deliver outstanding academic results. This should be your main focus on this level. But if you are a working student or work as an intern, then you support some operational tasks. So you work for people who are already working in the firm, and typically you do very simple stuff like in consulting, working on PowerPoint presentations or doing research or Excel. Also, like in the finance world, you are more probably working on models and supporting them and so on. So you're a support for the operational role. The salary that you can earn at that level, it varies highly on the firm, on the position. But I would say in euros or dollars, something around 1,000 to 5,000 per month roughly. While, for example, smaller or less known consulting firms typically are on the lower end, while, the top investment banks are on the upper end. And of course, there are the exceptions where you can even earn more. Then the second level, this is the young professional level. And this typically is when you start your career, and then it's the first 1 to 3 years of your career, then you are on this young professional level. So the roles in consulting are, for example, the consultant roles or senior consultants or associates. In the investment firms or the finance firms, these roles are typically called analyst roles or also associate roles. And if you work in a corporate, then this might be a trainee program or just a normal function role, for example, in strategy or somewhere in the line that you would take. Your responsibility is to actually do the operational work. So in consulting, this would mean that you work on the stream, that you prepare presentations, build some models. In the finance world, this mainly is around modeling and doing research and preparing important documents. And also like in the corporate world, this might include a variety of tasks. So this is mainly operational. And in terms of salary, it's really hard to say. Entry levels are, I would say, something between, at some firms, 50K, around 50K, up to 150K at the top banks. And then, in the first 1 to 3 years, I would say the average is around something, between 50K and let's say 200K. This should be the range. Of course, again, there are always like exceptions, but in first 1 to 3 years, this would be probably the range, what is possible. Then the next level, this is when you become a young leader. And this typically happens after, let's say, 3 to 5 years of working, and then it goes until your 10th work year, roughly. So the year number 3 to 10 in your career, this is probably the stage where you are a young leader, and this means that you proved yourself in this operational role as a young professional. So you got promoted, and now it's your turn to lead teams. And the roles in consulting, for example, are called engagement manager or project manager. And this also includes like senior project manager roles, for example. In the investment world and finance world, this is often called vice president. And then in the corporate world, this might be a team leader or also like a project lead who's responsible for strategic projects. And on this level, your responsibility is to lead a team. Let's say sometimes between 2 to 10 people, so smaller teams, to gain first leadership experience. And the salary that you can expect in this range should be somewhere between, let's say, 100K and even 500K, especially like in the finance industry. This is definitely possible, and this is roughly the range after, let's say, 3 to 10 years of work experience. What happens then? Then the next level, this is the management level. And this really happens, if you proved yourself as a young leader, if you showed that you can lead smaller teams, if you showed that you can have an impact for the firm that you are working for, then it's time to get to the manager level. And this is typically, after 10, 20 years of experience, this is roughly the range we are talking about. And this is often called like partner or manager. Okay, so in a consulting firm, you would be mainly responsible for the sales process. Maybe you would lead a certain or be responsible for a certain type of project or an industry. Also in the investment world, you are responsible for clients. Often you're also like specialized in a certain industry or sector or topic. And as a manager in a corporate, you maybe lead a department or an area or a business unit even. And the salary varies widely depending on the role, but I would say that something between 200K and roughly 1 million is roughly the salary that you can expect if you work on this management role. Okay, of course, as always, there are the exceptions. There are also people who get promoted really fast and who get to that level much earlier, but this is roughly the benchmark. So what is now the last level? The last level, level number 5 that you can reach, is called the top management level. And this typically happens after, let's say, 15 to 20 plus years of experience and when you proved yourself as a manager. So if you showed that you can lead a larger group of people, that you can have a strong impact on the firm, then you get promoted to a top management position. And in consulting firms, this might be a senior partner role or a managing director role. Similar in the finance world, this might also be a senior partner or managing director role. And in the management, this might be the top management, like being the CEO of the entire company or a large business unit within a large company. And your responsibility is basically to lead entire companies, to have a strong impact, to determine the strategic direction of the entire company. So you have a very big responsibility, of course. But the salary, of course, is also very big, because you can earn up to 1 million or even more depending on the industry. So there are managers who make multi-millions. There are partners who making multi-millions, managing directors who making multi-millions. So that's definitely possible. So I would say if you proved yourself throughout the career and if you get to this top level, then a salary above 1 million per year is definitely doable and possible. So these are the 5 main career stages, but of course every career level, every career stage has its own challenges. So if we talk about the candidate level, then of course your responsibility and the challenge is to really be good in your academics, to really have an outstanding degree, to go to a target school, to really have good grades, to make the right internships, to have the practical experiences, to network into the firms, prepare for the application process, of course, to get to the next level. Then, of course, as a young professional, typically you are faced with all the challenges that you will see in your first years. So you have to learn the basic skills that you need to perform well in your job. Very often, these are technical skills like PowerPoint, Excel, maybe financial modeling. These are hard skills like problem solving, doing strategic analysis, and so on. And also, of course, soft skills like communication, organization, and developing a strong mindset. So you need to learn these skills. That's really, really important. Also, you need to actively manage your career in order to climb up the career ladder so that you prove yourself, deliver great results, and get promoted to a leadership role. And then as a leader, of course, next challenge comes. So you have to learn how to lead. Often you also have to learn how to manage projects. You have to learn how to sell. That's also really difficult. Then for most people, work-life balance plays a huge role because this is typically the time where people, wanna found a family, maybe they wanna have kids. So this is very challenging to balance this out. Previously, it was fine. You were maybe with a partner or single, so the job was very important, but now family suddenly becomes important. Also very challenging. And then you get to the management role. And from there, it's becoming even more challenging because then you really have to become a great salesman. You have to build a network. You really have to create a strong impact for your company to climb up the ranks. So you see, having a career path in consulting, finance, and management, this is like just a straightforward career path, and it guarantees you, to earn multiple six figures and even millions if you follow that career path and if you overcome the challenges of each stage. Of course, that's not very easy. Only very few people make it to the top. And if you want to be one of them, if you are interested in a career in consulting, finance, and management, then feel free to reach out to us. We have a program that helps people to have a successful career in consulting, finance, and management. So get in touch with us. And with that being said, see you in the next video. Goodbye, Johannes.